Are you truly in control of your own mind? Or are you just the passenger on a train driven by invisible forces? Ever stop to think about the unseen blueprint shaping your desires, your beliefs, your entire reality? What if the very tools you use to connect with the world are actually pushing you further away from yourself? What if I told you that chasing external validation isn't the path to happiness, but a clever trap? This isn't about being a little insecure. This is about a deep misunderstanding of where your real power lies. It's about realizing that the echo chamber we live in, especially online, has become a gilded cage, and we've willingly walked inside. Get ready for a major mental reset, a brutally honest look in the mirror, and a journey to rediscover what true freedom feels like. We're diving into an idea that's as old as philosophy itself, inspired by thinkers who saw the danger of getting lost in the crowd. They argued that your true self isn't found by blending in, but by bravely standing out, by becoming uniquely you. In the presence of the masses, they observed, we lose our distinctiveness, our ability to think and feel for ourselves. This isn't new, but today it's never been more critical. Right now, in our hyper-connected world, this problem has exploded. Social media algorithms are masters at feeding us what we already believe, trapping us in echo chambers that block out any dissenting voices. We're constantly bombarded with perfectly curated lives, pressured to perform an idealized version of ourselves, and chasing likes and shares. This creates a relentless loop that chains us to outside approval. We're living in a constant state of performance anxiety, where our worth is measured by the fleeting attention of strangers. This digital crowd, even though it's virtual, has a massive, real impact on our inner lives, chipping away at our ability to truly think for ourselves and reflect deeply. At its heart, this is about a fundamental human struggle: our deep-seated need to belong versus our equally vital need to express our true selves. We crave connection, but when we seek it through the distorted lens of online performance, we end up more isolated than ever. We project an image, a carefully crafted persona, hoping for acceptance. But this persona becomes a wall, blocking genuine intimacy and self-discovery. The more we try to please the crowd, the less we understand ourselves. We start mistaking the applause of others for the quiet, internal satisfaction of a life lived authentically. This is the hidden cost. In trying to be seen by everyone, we risk becoming invisible to ourselves. Imagine a powerful river, flowing with the raw, untamed energy of your authentic self. This river has its own currents, its own depths, its unique path carved by your life's journey. Now, picture a dam built across it. This dam isn't made of concrete, but of societal expectations, the fear of judgment, the craving for approval, and the relentless pursuit of external validation. Every brick in this dam represents a compromise, a moment you silence your inner voice to fit in, a time you prioritize what others think over what you know is true. As the dam grows, the river's natural flow is blocked. The water stagnates, its vibrant energy suppressed. This stagnant water is your unexpressed potential, your stifled creativity, your dulled sense of self. The dam, built to control how others see you, ends up trapping the very essence of who you are, creating a reservoir of unfulfilled longing and a life lived at half power. We become so focused on managing the water level behind the dam, on making it look good to outsiders, that we forget the power and beauty of the river itself, its ability to carve new paths, to nourish, and to reach the sea in its own magnificent way. The science behind this is simple. Our brains are hardwired for social acceptance. It's a survival instinct. Being part of the group meant safety. But in today's world, this ancient wiring is a liability. Our brains are constantly seeking approval, avoiding ostracism, finding comfort in numbers.
This evolutionary advantage becomes a trap when those numbers are an abstract, often anonymous digital crowd, and their approval is based on superficial metrics. The constant comparison with others, fueled by perfectly staged online lives, triggers feelings of inadequacy and a desperate need to keep up. This creates a feedback loop. We perform for the crowd, get a fleeting hit of validation, and then feel compelled to perform even harder to maintain that fragile sense of belonging. We become addicted to the dopamine rush of likes, mistaking it for genuine self-worth. This constant outward focus hijacks our internal compass, making our sense of identity and value dependent on the opinions of others.
Think about Laura, a talented designer. She grew up shy, craving approval. Online, she found her stage. She meticulously crafted her digital persona, posting perfect photos and witty updates. Hours were spent analyzing engagement, feeling elation with every new follower, and crushing disappointment with any dip in attention. Her design work started mirroring online trends, sacrificing her unique vision for popularity. She'd delete and rewrite captions endlessly, seeking the perfect phrase. Her real-life interactions suffered. She felt awkward, disconnected, finding it easier to communicate through a screen. She'd skip events if her outfit wasn't Instagrammable. The devastating result? A profound emptiness. Despite her online popularity, she felt increasingly isolated, her true self buried under layers of digital artifice. She questioned her talents, her worth, her identity, her sense of self, now entirely tied to the fluctuating approval of her online audience. Do you ever find yourself meticulously crafting an online persona, wondering if your real life measures up to the curated version you present to the world? Then there's Marcus, a driven entrepreneur. His career was fueled by ambition and a deep fear of failure. He saw success as the ultimate validation. He projected unwavering confidence, believing vulnerability was weakness. He rarely confided in anyone, always projecting an image of invincibility. His business boomed, but his personal life crumbled. His wife felt shut out, unable to connect with the man behind the polished facade. His kids saw him as distant, an authority, not a parent. He constantly chased external markers of success, awards, accolades, to fill an internal void he couldn't admit. He spent hours networking, not out of interest, but for more validation. The psychological cost for Marcus? Immense. A gnawing loneliness, a growing disconnect from loved ones, and a constant anxiety that his image would shatter. He lived in fear of being exposed as less than perfect, a fear that prevented him from experiencing true intimacy and genuine contentment. He achieved external success, but at the cost of internal peace and meaningful connection. Have you ever felt the pressure to maintain a facade of strength, even when you're struggling internally, and wondered what authentic connection you might be sacrificing? Then there's Anya, a brilliant young academic. Her struggle started in university, facing pressure to conform to the prevailing academic views. She felt intellectually stifled, her novel ideas subtly discouraged if they strayed too far from the norm. She began censoring her own thoughts, tempering her enthusiasm, and adopting the language of the dominant voices. She'd research what others were saying, what theories were trending, and subtly weave them into her own work, fearing originality would be seen as arrogance. She believed aligning with the established intellectual crowd would acceptance and advance her career. She suppressed her own burgeoning insights, her unique way of seeing the world in favor of what was deemed acceptable. The long-term consequence? A slow erosion of her intellectual curiosity and a deep sense of disillusionment. She felt like an imposter, her own voice silenced by the chorus of conformity. The passion that drew her to academia began to fade, replaced by a hollow pursuit of external approval. She gained recognition, but at the cost of her intellectual soul. Do you find yourself, consciously or unconsciously, shaping your thoughts and opinions to align with the prevailing narrative, even when your intuition suggests a different path? The total cost of staying trapped in this cycle of seeking external validation is staggering.
It's the erosion of genuine self-esteem, the sacrifice of authentic dreams, the dimming of your unique creative spark, and the profound isolation that comes from living a life of performance, not presence. It's the quiet regret of unexpressed thoughts, the missed opportunities for deep connection, and that nagging feeling that something vital is missing, even amidst success. We trade the richness of our inner world for the fleeting applause of the crowd, and in doing so, we lose ourselves. The path to breaking free from this pervasive need for external validation isn't easy. It demands courage, deep self-reflection, and a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves and the world around us. True freedom here isn't about being immune to outside influence, but mastering your internal response to it. It's the strength to stand in your own truth even when it's unpopular, and the wisdom to know your deepest worth comes not from others' approval, but from your own integrity and authenticity. It's the quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are, independent of the crowd's gaze.
Our first practical step is inner witnessing. What? This means consciously observing your thoughts, feelings, and impulses without judgment or immediate action. Why? Our reliance on external validation often stems from a lack of self-awareness. When we don't understand our inner world, we look outside for cues on how to feel or act. Inner witnessing creates a crucial space between stimulus and response, allowing us to choose our actions instead of being driven by automatic, externally conditioned reactions. How? Start by dedicating 5 to 10 minutes each day to simply sit in silence. Focus on your breath. As thoughts arise, acknowledge them without getting lost in their story. Notice the urge to check your phone, seek validation, or compare yourself. Just observe these urges as they pass. You can also practice this during everyday activities like eating or walking by bringing your full attention to the present moment and observing your internal experience. Challenge? The initial discomfort will be your biggest hurdle. Your mind will fight this stillness, bombarding you with distractions and anxieties. You might feel a sense of emptiness or even fear. The urge to immediately seek external validation will be strong. Be patient. This is a practice, not a destination. Our second principle is authentic expression. What? This means deliberately sharing your genuine thoughts, feelings, and creations, even when they feel vulnerable or imperfect. Why? This directly combats the tendency to censor ourselves for fear of judgment. By practicing authentic expression, we build our internal resilience and prove to ourselves that we can handle perceived criticism or lack of approval. Each honest act of expression strengthens your sense of self and weakens the crowd's power over you. It's about reclaiming your voice one true utterance at a time. How? Begin with low-stakes situations. Share a genuine opinion with a trusted friend. Write in a journal without censoring. Or create something purely for your own enjoyment without worrying about how it will be received. As you get more comfortable, gradually increase the stakes. This might mean sharing a personal story, presenting an unconventional idea at work, or posting something on social media that feels truly you, even if it's not perfectly polished. Challenge? The biggest challenge will be overcoming the fear of judgment and rejection. You'll grapple with self-doubt, the urge to overthink, and the temptation to revert to safer, more conventional expression. There might be times when your authentic expression is met with indifference or even criticism. The key is to remember that this feedback is about the expression, not your inherent worth. Our third principle is intentional disconnection. What?
This means consciously and regularly stepping away from the constant influx of external information and social comparison, especially from digital sources. Why? Our digital environment is a powerful amplifier of the need for external validation. By intentionally disconnecting, we create the necessary space to reconnect with ourselves. This practice allows us to recalibrate our internal compass, remember what truly matters, and break the cycle of constant seeking. It's about reclaiming your attention and your inner peace. How? Schedule regular periods of digital detox. This could be an hour each evening, a full day on the weekend, or even a week-long retreat. During these times, resist the urge to check social media, news feeds, or emails. Instead, engage in activities that nourish your soul. Spend time in nature, read a physical book, dive into a hobby, or simply be present with yourself and loved ones. You can also implement smaller daily practices, like keeping your phone out of the bedroom or designating specific times for checking notifications. Challenge: the initial withdrawal symptoms can be significant. You might experience boredom, anxiety, or a feeling of being out of the loop. The habit of reaching for your phone or checking notifications will be deeply ingrained. It will require conscious effort and discipline to resist these urges. Remember, this discomfort is a sign you're breaking a powerful habit and reclaiming your mental space. The difficulty you'll face in embracing these principles isn't a sign of failure, but proof of how deeply conditioned you are. Every moment of discomfort, every instance of resisting the urge for external validation is a victory. It's a signal that you are growing, shedding old skins, and moving closer to a more authentic and empowered way of being. Embrace the struggle, for it is the crucible in which true transformation is forged. Ultimately, you stand at a crossroads. You can continue navigating life by the flickering, unreliable compass of external approval, forever seeking validation from a crowd that can never truly know you. Or you can embark on the courageous journey inward to discover the profound, unwavering source of worth that resides within you. The choice, as always, is yours. What hidden validation are you currently seeking? And what authentic part of yourself are you sacrificing in the process?